I believe academia is a calling. You're entrusted with the intellect of people. You're molding people's intellect, and it's something very precious. It's as delicate as even medicine.
It is. Hi, people.
Hi.
Well, before I introduce the person I have here today, it's another beautiful day, very sunny, and I wanted you to see the beautiful Neyland Stadium at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. So we went through something and something. I don't want to use the real words before we got this view, but I really hope that you enjoy the view. And I have somebody here to talk to us today. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Ucheoma Onwutuebe, and I'm a Nigerian writer, but currently a PhD student here at University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
Yeah, Ucheoma is a very wonderful friend of mine, and she's a writer. She has a lot of things she has written. Guys, please talk about where can they get your things?
Just my website, ucheomaonwutuebe.com.
Are your writings free to read, or
some are behind paywalls, but some are free.
Yeah. Before we get into the main question for today, what inspires your dressing?
Okay. My mom is a very fashionable person.
Okay.
Of course, we have different styles, and she doesn't understand my style.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Does she say something about your style?
Oh my God, we quarreled for years before she gave up. But she put in me the consciousness of just dressing up. So I would say I got it from my mom. Yeah.
So, okay, your mom, first of all, inoculated, if I may use that word.
Oh, that's so scientific.
You with the consciousness of fashion, but now your personal taste or style, where does that come from?
I'm really inspired by freedom and androgyny. I don't know if that's a word, but just being free. I don't like clothing that are too tight, so anything that lets air flow through my body. I'm inspired by freedom. I'm inspired by colors. I think this genre of fashion can be called street style, so I'm really inspired by street style.
I do see the streets. No offense intended, please. It's okay. So you study English language?
I study creative writing because
Sorry.
it's fine. In the English department, there's the people who are focused on English literature, and those of us are in creative writing. So my PhD is actually in fiction.
Wow.
Yeah, I had my master's in non-fiction.
Wow.
But my PhD now is in fiction. So yeah.
Okay. So what's the most interesting thing to you about studying creative writing, whether it's from fiction or non-fiction? And okay, maybe the first question would be, which do you love better
between fiction and non-fiction?
Yeah.
Ooh,
love more.
Fiction would make you more money.
If I would make more money.
Fiction would make you more money than non-fiction, but some people are breaking the mold in non-fiction. But fiction sells faster, and I'm Nigerian, I'm Igbo. So I love the fact that this gift can actually translate into economic value to me. So I love...
I'm Nigerian, I'm Igbo. I didn't see where that was going. I thought you were going to say that you're Igbo, so you like to write fiction.
No, I'm Igbo.
Business.
Business.
The monetary value.
Oh my goodness. The monetary value is... Fiction would... currently, you never can tell when someone would be watching this video. But currently, fiction translates to quicker monetary value. I love the fact that I can blend in and out of fiction and non-fiction, but my focus right now is just how to translate this weird career into something not weird, but something that parents wouldn't usually encourage their kids to pursue. But I think currently fiction is my jam. Yeah.
Reminds me of this Nigerian British comedian, Gina Yashere, that said in a Nigerian family, she was in Bob Hart's Abishala. I think she wrote it with the other people.
Oh, interesting.
She was like, in a Nigerian family, you're either a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer, or disgrace to the family.
So those of us in the disgrace category, we have to our trump card has to be economic value.
Yeah.
But apart from all of the economic value and whatnot, this is just a talent that I'm honing day by day, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to devote time to study it.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what's one thing, which was what I was going to ask you before, is what's one thing you like the most about studying creative writing and being a creative writer?
One thing I love the most is the fact that this innate talent, I've been brought into like an academic environment where I can make it even more polished. So a lot of people can write. It's like we were having this conversation before now. A lot of people can sing, but a singer who is trained at Juilliard is definitely different from someone who is kind of freestyling it. Of course, there are people who have made it far while freestyling. So what I'm just trying to say is being in an academic environment with your talent is added value. So I love the fact that I go to school to study something that I passionately love. Yeah. So that's the best part for me. Yeah.
I feel like I'm having a lot of questions. This is not the main thing. So does that mean you've been writing before you went to study writing?
Of course. I started writing even you're Nigerian, so the first time I wrote JAM, I couldn't get into university. So that 1 year period of waiting and questioning your young life was when I started writing.
Okay.
And when I got into school to study microbiology.
You studied microbiology?
That was my first degree. My first degree is micro. Go look it up. My first degree was in microbiology.
Who would have thought?
So
that would be a pop quiz for. Use that for truth or lie. 2 truths and 1 lie. 2 lies and 1 truth.
Exactly.
Nobody would have, guessed.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I studied microbiology. So I went to a Nigerian university, but I just realized that the writing that I was doing before I got into university was something that was getting me through school. I was a little bit popular because I would write and paste on the billboards and whatnot. The literary society of my school, I don't know what it's called now. I've forgotten what it's called, but I was a member. So Abia State University. So I kept on writing even after graduating, kept on writing even when I got my first job. So it was just this one thing that never left me.
I feel like this is gonna turn to an interview, but I don't want to have that today. I would definitely have you back on this channel.
Oh, thank you.
The next question coming to my mind is, how then did you get into writing? In terms of, generally, for you to want to apply for a master's in art, with microbiology, people that studied art undergrad, go on they've not even gotten the admission.
Yeah,
so,
to summarize it, with the Masters in Fine Arts and Creative Writing, it's difficult, but what they look out for, they don't look out for whether you had a background in English literature. They're looking for the talents. Anybody, there are doctors who join our program. There are engineers, people from all walks of life. But if you have that innate thing, it's just like singing.
Yes.
Yeah, anybody can sing.
Yeah.
But if you have that innate thing and you apply to the program, you would be selected. Yeah. It's highly competitive.
It is.
Yeah, if you have that thing that they're looking for, they will definitely give you a space in the program. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. I feel like in a few minutes I've gotten to know a lot I've never known about you since and this is why sometimes having conversations with people has value. Not just, hey, good morning, how are you? How's school? How's family? And that's it.
Yeah.
Like talking about things really gets us to learn. I also didn't know that MFA and other, masters in something related to art are that flexible. I've always thought, they are difficult to get in. They look for their people and they have to be top of those people, but it's good to know now.
They are highly, for instance, each program might take very selective. So you just have to really have the talent before they let you in. Yeah, you have to have a portfolio while you are applying. So your portfolio is a major part of the application process. What have you written over time?
Yeah.
Where have you been published over time? So even when I was doing the other side hustles, I worked in a bank and worked in different places.
Worked in a bank?
I worked in Zenith Bank. So
you did microbiology, worked in Zenith Bank. And now you're writing.
I am writing full time because I was writing part time in all those places, but right now I'm a full time writer.
You are unique in your own way.
Thank you.
And I think you have a unique contribution to this pool of questions I'm trying to gather. So what is one thing you would want me to ask? Think of somebody that's in the space you want to be, what is one question you'd like to ask them?
One question I would like to ask is, when is the right time, or when do you know is the time to leave academia? Yeah.
Wow.
When do you know is the time to maybe not necessarily leave completely, but take a sabbatical? Yeah, because
change course.
Yeah, change course, because oftentimes you sit in a class and you could see that the light has gone out of the eyes of the professor. There's no excitement to teaching anymore. And that's my question. And also, someone who being in grad school is also training us towards the academic pathway.
And for the most part, yes. There are those who go and do industry, but
yeah. So when for someone who has been here before me, I would ask, when is the time to take a step back and recalibrate? Because I believe academia is a calling. You're entrusted with the intellect of people. You're molding people's intellect, and it's something very precious. It's as delicate as even medicine.
It is.
Yeah,
you're training a doctor. Yeah.
You're forming people's opinions. You're forming their minds. But I think academia should be approached with a level of high passion. So when should one notice that, that passion is no longer there, and when do I have to step back? I think that's the question I want to ask.
Each time I talk to graduates, to people about this question, I hear something that just really freaks my mind. That I don't think if I do this interview alone in a million years, I'll think about these questions. And you're right. I currently work with a professor that she told me, I don't know if this is right to talk about here, but she had to leave the place she was to another place because she realized that where she was really just chasing the grant. It was, hard money versus soft money. And she had to just keep getting grant for her to keep a job. She knew it was time to leave, because at that
almost
point,
like a rat race.
Yeah, it was no longer about what she wanted or loved to do. And one thing we pride ourselves in academia is you have flexibility and freedom.
Yes.
You can wake up and say, today I want to change course of my research. Of course, you want to do something that's fundable, but you can carve your own research agenda. Whereas if you're in the industry, you have a client, you want to do what the client wants, not what you want to be creative about. So I think it's important to know, when does this no longer serve me?
Yes.
When does it no longer serve the people I intend to mold? As you said, you're molding minds. And I think that's a very great question.
I'm excited to see who answers this question. I'll keep my eyes trained on this channel.
Honestly, I'm like, you guys are really making me stressed out on who I'm going to interview first.
Oh my God.
Questions are like, they're going to, it's okay. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions for me before we call it a day?
No questions.
You don't have to ask me questions, by the way. I can get a free pass.
Yeah, no questions for now, but I'm excited for the long run. I'm excited to see the interviews, and I really want this question to be answered, because it's been burning in my heart. When is it time to step back? So I
don't know. Why is that question important to you? In that, are you in a space or phase you're feeling like, is this a space for me? I know you love teaching, but what makes you reflect on that question?
I think over time, I could see like my passion for teaching faces sometimes an tick and then and I'm wondering, is this usual in the field? Am I supposed to constantly be high on the idea of teaching, or are there moments, or are there semesters when is it normal for me not to feel as excited about teaching? My love for teaching is the constant. Do you get? But there are mornings I don't feel up to it. There are semesters that are not as great as other semesters. So I just would want to hear another question. How do they even manage it in case they feel the way that I do? One moment they love it, and the next moment they would rather just lie in bed than come to class. So how do they manage those fluctuations? I think that's another thank you. That's another question I would want to ask.
Guys, please like, subscribe, share this video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for your time, Ucheoma.
You're welcome.